Hello students, once again hearty welcome to Alan's tutorials. This is the English literature classes for the students of class 9 and 10 based on the ICSE pattern for the immediate preparation of your board and other examinations. Class is taken by Joseph, Little Flower School, Salempur. Let us understand the poem, The Patriot. This beautiful poem is written by Robert Browning and his lifespan was from 1812 to 1889. Let us understand the poet. Robert Browning was born in Italy in the year 1812. He was influenced by the great poets like Shelley, Keats, Byron, and so on. He was married to poetess Elizabeth Barrett Browning in 1846 and she died in 1861. He was deeply interested in human psychology and he was considered as one of the great Victorian poets. He died in the year 1889. Let us understand the introduction of this poem. This poem is the reflection of the rapidity with which a hero's fortune can be changed. It is the story of reward or punishment meted out to the speaker of the poem within 1 year of his services. The poet, who was welcomed a year ago by public, is going to be executed like a criminal now. The poem, as read by some critics, is a satire on fickleness of the public opinion. Let us read and understand the poem. It was roses, roses all the way, with myrtle mixed in my path like mad. The house roofs seemed to heave and sway. The church spires flamed, such flags they had a year ago on this very day. The air broke into a mist with bells, the old walls rocked with the crowd and cries. Had I said, good folk, mere noise repels, but give me your sun from yonder skies, they had answered, and afterward what else? Alack, it was I who leaped at the sun to give it my loving friends to keep. Not man could do how I left undone. And you see my harvest, what I reap, this very day, now a year is run. There is nobody on the housetops now, just a palsied few at the windows set. For the best of the sight is all allowed at the shambles gate, or better yet, by the very scaffold's foot I throw. I go in the rain and more than needs, a rope cuts both my wrists behind, and I think by the feel my forehead bleeds, for they fling whoever has a mind stones at me for my years' misdeeds. Thus I endured and thus I go. In times people have dropped down dead. Paid by the world, what dost thou owe me? God might question now instead. Its God shall repay. I am safer so. Written by Robert Browning. Let us understand the focal points of the poem. The speaker of the poem, a patriot, received a grand reception from the public a year ago. His path was filled with roses and myrtle, the house roofs were crowded, and the church spires were decorated with flags. The old walls of the buildings rocked with the crowd. The public admired and honored him to such an extent that if he asked for the sun, they would have agreed. The tone changes. The speaker regrets that it was he who did every possible things for the public. In present, things have changed. He is being taken for his execution. There is nobody at the housetops now. He walks in the rain towards the shambles gates with his wrist tied behind. Stones are being thrown at him, his forehead bleeds. The speaker accepts his fate. He feels more safe in the hands of God now. You will see the beautiful visual imagery of this poem. The first part, how people are celebrating, and on the other side, the beautiful scattered myrtle flowers. Again, the visual imagery on the first slide, you will find how an executioner is going to behead the criminal, and the second image you will find the beautiful shambles gate where a prisoner is going to be hanged. Again, visual imagery, you will find how a criminal is taken by the authorities for the punishment. Let us understand the form and structure of this beautiful poem, The Patriot, written by Robert Browning. The summary is, the narrator is warmly welcomed home by crowds of people at the beginning of the poem. By the end of the poem, the patriot, one who supports his country, is seen to be a traitor. The form is really a dramatic monologue. It is a narrative and it is like a storytelling. The structure of this poem: Roman numerals between stanzas to show time frame. Flowing AB rhyme scheme adds to pace of writing. The language of the poem. Rhetorical questions are used to try to create empathy for the narrator. Repetition is used to highlight luxury. It was roses, roses all the way. And the metaphorical language contrasts between before and after he was considered a patriot. And finally, shambles gate to be hanged. The theme of this beautiful poem: public fickleness, rise and fall of glory, faith in God. Style of the poem. It's a dramatic monologue. Here a single person speaks. The structure of this poem is 6 5-line stanzas. Each stanza seen as different stages in a patriot's life. First 3 stanzas, glory of life. Last 3 stanzas reflects the unheroic deeds of the patriot. Some figures of speech used in this poem are alliteration, metaphor, personification, and hyperbole or hyperbole. Critical remarks. Ambiguity in the poem, innocent depiction of the speaker. Thank you.